Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one is entitled Sun Simulator in the Sky. Now, an image of a bright light source in the sky by Scation is shown below. It should be quite clear that this light source cannot be the sun, as first of all, it is not pale yellow as the real sun would be from within the Earth's atmosphere. If the sun is not yellow when viewed from within the atmosphere, then the sky cannot be blue, as it is only when the blue wavelength is removed from sunlight by the atmosphere that the sky becomes blue. But white light, with the blue wavelength removed, becomes yellow. It is therefore impossible for the sky to look blue and the sun to remain white. And here it is. This is a screenshot from a video, a Planet X news video entitled Planet X News Wild Lens Array from the Sun Simulator. Never seen this before, 9/28/18. And here you can see how white light can be split into the three primary colors of light, which is red, blue, and green. When you combine them, you get what you see here in the center, which is white light. But when you remove the blue, what you have left is the red and the green. And when you combine red and green, you can see what you get. This is yellow. So white light minus the blue, that blue part, becomes yellow. And this is why the sun is yellow. The blue has been removed by the atmosphere, which is why the sky is blue. And therefore the sun must be yellow. The sun is not yellow. The sun is clearly white. So it's not the sun. And in addition, there is these vertical beams that can be seen going through the bright light source, and this does not look like the sun at all. Now, the vertical beams seen going through the central part of the light source are in the foreground, so they're in front of all these background features, these trees and so on, which may lead to the idea that they are created by the lens of the camera. But that is not the case, as in part of the video the camera focuses on the beam without light from the central circular region being in the shot, and thus not being incident on the camera lens. And this is what you can see here. If the beam was a camera lens artifact, it should have disappeared, but it remains and is thus a real effect in the sky. Now, even though this seems to be a real effect in the sky and not a lens artifact by the camera recording the video, this is still not a real object, as the beam appears to be in the foreground. It must therefore be a real image produced by a lens system. The image has to be real, as real light rays seem to be passing through it, which is also why heat can be felt to accompany the light. Light is energy, and when absorbed, it increases the temperature of the absorbing material. A real image is always in front of the lens. In other words, the lens or lenses producing this image will be above the image we are observing. The focused beam suggests that there is one portion of the field which is focused, whilst the flaring on both sides of the bright circular center suggests that a divergent lens is on either side of the central focus region. So that's what we can see here. So this central part seems to be more in focus, and this part outside seems to be divergent. The light rays seem to diverge. It's not focused. So now, in addition, as the vertical beam appears to be so elongated, there must be a magnifying lens above the observer. So some things, this kind of setup might be what is producing this. We would most likely get an effect, at least similar to that, with something like this. We would have two laser beams combined, falling onto a lensing or a holographic system, something that produces a real image on the other side of the lens. And then the two beams would be focused. Part of it will be divergent, and you can see what I cannot show everything in that same image. This is a side view. We then have a magnifying lens between this lensing system and the observer down here. And this would make whatever image is formed over here larger, magnified, so that these long beams seem to be so much larger than the distance between the ground and the sky. As you can see here, these are so elongated that they have to be magnified. Now, this is what it would look like, I think, if we were looking from above. So if the observers move to there and look straight down, this is likely to be what we would see. We would see a convergent part for the lensing system and a divergent part. The gray part would be divergent. And then we would have two laser beams incident on the plate, and most likely one has a circular field incident on the plate, and the other one most likely it's an elongated beam like this, which then produces these beams. And then this part here of this light that comes from this laser here, or the sun simulator in orbit, would fall on the divergent part and produce these divergent beams on either side of the central circular region. So on both sides you have part of that falling onto the divergent part of the lens system, which would produce these divergent beams. So in conclusion, the light source in the sky is clearly not the real sun, and seems to be a real image of a light source, which may be produced from two intersecting laser beams going through several lens combinations. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.